Can you see my whole body? On August 25th, 2018, I packed up almost everything I own and drove it to a small town in Texas called Waxahachie. I was scared, inexperienced, but I was hopeful. Through this story, I'm going to reveal the decision that changed my life, my transition process, and the lessons I have learned. Let's continue with my story. As I mentioned, I was on my way to a small town called Waxahachie. This wasn't anywhere close to where I originally planned to go to college. I was planning on staying in Oklahoma and attending UCO, which was only 45 minutes away. I never would have imagined that I would move 3.5 hours and to a different state for college. About 3 weeks prior to this day, I visited this small town for the very first time. Yes, my first college visit to SAGU was only 3 weeks before courses started. I know, it's very last minute. At the time, the campus looked old and desolate to me. I even asked my tour guide if it would look livelier whenever school started. She assured me that it would. After the tour was over, I began my application process. I'm pretty sure I emailed my admissions counselor back and forth every single day until I was accepted, which happened 3 weeks later, just 3 days before move-in day. Back to the present, there were 4 people embarking on this journey with me. My best friend, Ashlyn, was in the car with me, and my mom, dad, and little brother were in the car behind me. These were the people who believed in me the most. They were also the people who were the hardest to say goodbye to. When we arrived, there was a lot to do. We immediately unpacked everything and set up my room. Then there were a bunch of activities that new incoming freshmen had to attend in order to build friendships. The real challenge came on Sunday. My family was leaving. There were many tears from the girls in the family, not so much the guys. But I hadn't got much time to prepare for a new life without my mom just right down the stairs. And saying goodbye to my best friend was hard because I had spent almost every single day of the last several months with her and every single weekend of the last several years with her. Nonetheless, I knew this was a good decision and I knew that much growth would follow. After my family left and everything in front of me was completely new and unfamiliar, my transition process began. All the incoming freshmen were put into classes of about 20 people. These classes were called our S3 classes, which stood for Strategies for Student Success. The purpose of these classes was to ensure that we had the chance to build friendships. They also taught us things we needed to know about our new home. Most of my friends spawned from this class. I quickly developed a friend group that I hung out with almost every day, and then I began to meet the friends of my new friends, so being lonely was never an issue for me. Although it did take me a while to find a church home. I grew up in the same church my entire life, and leaving that behind was much harder than I anticipated. You would assume that going to a Bible college, it would be easy for you to find a church home. I visited so many great churches, but none of them really felt like a home to me. I ended up finding a home at Life Church in Midlothian. This was the second church that I visited, but at the time it didn't really feel like a home. It wasn't until my second semester that it became a home because of the relationships that I had built with people who attended there. Transitioning into an entirely new life wasn't the easiest task that was ever placed in front of me, but I sure did learn a lot of lessons from it. There were many lessons that I learned after moving to Texas, and these lessons were scattered into many categories of life. I learned the importance of the friendships we choose to invest in. Unfortunately, I learned the importance of time management the hard way. God taught me how he views me as his daughter. I learned how to drive from Waxahachie, Texas to Mustang, Oklahoma without using a GPS. My dad was surprised by that one. I even fell in love. The craziest thing is that I haven't even learned half the lessons that I'm going to learn with my years that I still have here. In conclusion, moving to Waxahachie, Texas was not in my radar at all, and I could not have been more unprepared. The only reason that I made it this far was because this was the plan that God had for me all along. So if you feel like God is calling you to something that is 100% not what you planned, consider saying yes, because it could be the best decision of your life. Thank you.